My time in the military was full of a bunch of ups and downs, all right? I had 3 in total alcohol-related incidents, all right? So you guys can understand that alcohol had been a serious problem in my life, really like my entire adult life, up until I realized I needed to snap the fuck out of it and figure out what the hell I was doing, you know what I mean? If I had any chance of being successful or making anything out of myself, I needed to figure it out, all right? But there's one instance I'm gonna tell you guys about today that was like the pinnacle of my change, okay? And that was when I got a 5150, all right? So I was literally considered insane, which I fucking was insane. I was completely out of my mind insane. Like, I was literally drinking with, my family at the time. I had some friends over, right? And I probably put down like easily a fucking 5th of tequila to myself. Like, just was just ridiculous, just putting it down, right? And me and my friend at the time that was there, right? We were like roughhousing and shit, and fucking, I don't know what happened, right? But I just completely like blacked out, right? I don't remember anything. I just lost my shit, and I pretty much tried to kill the fucking dude, right? And I was just like going insane, blah, blah, blah. Like, I even had his girlfriend come up and just start swinging on me, and like freaking, I ended up with 2 black eyes, all right? Like, I was a disaster. And then, long story short, the police obviously showed up because multiple people called the police, right? And there was like 5 of them that had to fucking hold me down. And I'm sitting here just going nuts, like fucking, at this point, this was gonna be I thought I was gonna get arrested again for the second time, because I was arrested in 2019, again because of my alcohol, and got into a really bad argument with my ex that in turn put me in handcuffs and in jail. I have talked a little bit about that, but I'll probably make a separate video just about that as well, okay? But with this one, I was just like, I didn't want to go back. So I'm sitting here screaming like, don't take me back, I don't want to go back, you know what I mean? And and then instead they were like, no, we're taking you to the fucking hospital, like, you need help, you know what I'm saying? And they weren't wrong. I obviously needed help. I had just gotten in trouble in the military because of a martial arts instructor course that I ran, and my career was in jeopardy as it was, right? In this instant, they automatically took away my drill instructor orders, and my career was pretty much in shambles, you know what I mean? I was still a sergeant at the time, and I pretty much thought I was done. And this was a couple months after I actually started my business as well. So pretty much everything that I had worked so hard for, I thought was gonna just be gone, just completely gone to shit, you know what I mean? But anyways, I fucking had no choice but to fucking stop drinking, obviously, because what was the common denominator of all my problems was the fucking alcohol, you know? Like, you can't cope with alcohol and expect things to go good, because it never fucking goes that way. You make horrible choices in life, decisions that you'll regret forever, and that was me, all right? And I really needed help at this point. I ended up having to sleep in a fucking hotel room that was across the street from my condo I was living at the time, because my ex at the time, or my wife at the time, right now my ex, had locked me out of the fucking the place, and like didn't want to see me, which obviously for good reason. I was a fucking disaster, right? And I mean, I was sleeping in that hotel room for like 3 days, and at one of the nights I fucking put a belt up, and I contemplated just ending it all, because I really just lost hope in everything. I lost my drill instructor orders, I'd lost fucking everything at this point, and I didn't really know like what else to do. Like, I was just stuck in this like contemplation on like, is it worth it? Like, why? But I have 2 kids, right? And just remembering that they need their fucking dad, and they need me to continue to show up regardless, right? That shit kept me going no matter what. And I wasn't gonna fucking stop, okay? So I kept going. And luckily, one of my best friends had shown up that same day, right? And he had taken me to an Alcohol Anonymous meeting, right? So it wasn't my first time going to AA, but it was my first time like completely admitting that I was powerless over alcohol and I needed some fucking help, you know what I'm saying? So I went in there with an open mind, just ready to get the help. And that small little hope that I got from the men in those rooms changed my entire life. At that point, I knew that I was worth it, and I knew if I just stuck to this and I stayed sober and I worked the steps and I focused on personal development moving forward, I had a chance of being happy in the long run. And sure enough, it's exactly what the fuck happened, right? I went sober, Like my whole life just took a 180 for the better. You know what I'm saying? I started feeling better, started feeling healthier, more mental clarity. My business took off. I even ended up getting promoted despite all the shit that happened. I ended up getting promoted to staff sergeant 3 months after the incident. I was selected, and then October 1st, 2021, I was promoted to staff sergeant, all right? So it doesn't even matter like what shit you've gone through in the past. You can always fucking come back and bounce back 110%. And I want to be the living proof of that. That's why I get on here and I talk about this shit. And I'm honest with you about how bad I fucked up. Like I almost ruined it all. Like I pretty much did, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is it's not over until you fucking decide it's over. And I decided that it wasn't over yet. And here I am over 3 years later, right? Actually just about 3 years later. And my life is fucking beautiful. I'm a civilian again. I ended up getting out of the military so I could pursue my passion full time with my business, helping others, being a coach, right? Being of service to others is like my purpose. And I knew that everybody has that purpose, and ultimately once you find it, you cannot go back, right? And I'll never go back. I can never go back to how I once lived or how I once thought, because it was jaded as fuck and I had no concept of what this world was really all about. And now I know I do. And you know what? The worst decisions that I made in life, right, in the moment were fucking horrible, but they went ahead and they propelled me the right direction to exactly where I need to be, because I got the lessons that I needed, right? And that pain will always retain. And remember this, pain is the pinnacle to change. And at that point, I had felt enough pain and I made the necessary steps so I could have a future, right? And here I am being able to talk about it. I've been able to build a multiple six-figure coaching business, help as many people as I have, and continue to remain away from alcohol, because I know alcohol has no place in my life whatsoever and never will. And I fucking hate the person that I was because of it. And I refuse to ever go back to who I was. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will be back every single week without fail, because this is what the fuck I'm meant to do. Share this message so you guys can get a little insight on who I am and what it means to really come back from adversity, because you too can fucking do it. Let's go.